My name is Patrick Barker and I'm a farmer from Lodge Farm, Westhorpe in Suffolk. So I grew up here on this farm. I've always lived in rural Suffolk. I've always lived in the countryside and always been surrounded by farming and by wildlife. So my family has always been farming, but for me, I didn't necessarily want to do it because I always felt that I wanted to be in a sport role. I actually studied at Brunel in London and read sports science. After university, I had a couple of jobs, football coaching and sport development officer. When that project ran out of money, I then came back to the farm for something to do and actually started to think about being here because I wanted to, as opposed to it was the expectation of the family. I was very fortunate to take over the running of the farm at the same age my dad was when he took over from his father, and that gave my cousin Brian and I the chance to look at the farm that was here. We aren't the sort of characters where we would just carry on. We want to be able to do things on our own, in our own way. We started exploring IPM because integrated pest management is actually exactly what it says. It's integrating pests into the way we're trying to farm. So if we had healthy soil, if we had lots of flowers, lots of different habitats and they're all connected, we've got big populations of hoverflies, of money spiders, of ground beetles, and they are eating aphids and they are eating all those different crop pests. We then have a whole landscape scale approach to how we manage a farm. As an industry, we've kind of got ourselves into a bad habit of using chemicals, pesticides, insecticides especially, at a time when we think we might need them as opposed to when we do need them. So it's having faith in the natural systems. The measures that we have on this farm that support our IPM strategies are wildflower meadows. We can grow flowers and actually receive a payment for doing that. We've planted new hedges and manage our existing hedges better so that everywhere you go on this farm, there is insect habitat where insects can breed. And as soon as there's any crop pest outbreak, we know we have those natural systems over the whole farm that can support what we're trying to do. We created more bird food areas. There's bees, there's butterflies, there's dragonflies on all the ponds. So for me, IPM is about a really healthy landscape. We know that if we are setting the base, everything else will respond and benefit us and our crops. I think the way I would go about implementing IPM is just trying small things first, because it can all be increased as you realise it works. The success of this journey is actually we're still here and we're still in business. We're farming in a way that it's actually better for our bank balance, and the way we're farming has attracted a lot of attention as well. We're working very closely with Nestle, with PepsiCo, and trying to show that it can be done in a way that is much more sustainable. I think for me the greatest pleasure that I take is just going out on the farm, walking, and the sheer number of species that I can see on one tour is out of this world. There's birds, there's mammals, there's 5 pairs of barn owls breeding on the farm. So for me, this is just a really natural way to farm, to run a business, to produce food, and to look after the natural environment.